Fantasy football, understanding season-ending Imagine having a player who's been a key part of your team all season suddenly going down for the year. That's where the season-ending injured reserve spot comes into play. In fantasy football, the injured reserve, or is a special roster slot that helps managers handle serious injuries. When a player is on season-ending in real life, they stay in that spot for the rest of the season. This means you can keep that player on your roster without losing a spot for someone active. It's a smart way to hold onto valuable players who won't be playing again this year. In most fantasy leagues, a player becomes IR eligible if they are officially placed on the NFL injured reserve list or are labeled as out for a game week. Once that happens, you can move them from your active lineup to the slot. The slot doesn't count against your maximum roster size, so you can add a replacement player without dropping anyone. When your injured player recovers and is no longer IR eligible, you need to move them back to your active roster. That often means dropping or benching someone else to keep your roster size intact. It's important to note that in the NFL, being on injured reserve means missing at least 4 games, with a limited window to return. But in fantasy football, the designation is more flexible. If a player is just out for a week, many platforms allow you to place them in the slot, depending on your league settings. Some leagues restrict slots to only players on NFL injured reserve, but many allow players who are simply out or questionable to occupy that spot. Using the slot wisely can help you stay competitive. You can keep injured players off your active roster while adding healthy replacements. Regularly checking injury updates is key because a player's status can change from out to questionable or active. If you have multiple slots, you can hold on to more injured players longer. Remember, suspended players usually do not qualify for slots in fantasy leagues. When a player is on season-ending in real life, they stay in that slot for the rest of the season in fantasy. This means you can keep them on your roster without sacrificing a spot for an active player. It's a great way to manage your team's roster flexibility and stay ready for the stretch run. To sum it up, the season-ending in fantasy football is a handy tool that helps managers keep injured players without losing roster space. It allows you to add replacements and stay competitive even when key players are out for the year. The rules and number of slots vary depending on your league platform and settings, but the main goal is to give you more options to manage injuries effectively throughout the season.